Okay guys, so I just picked up this job right here. This is my regular customer. Everything you see, this evergreen right here, everything you see all the way to that round bush, we're gonna pull it all out. And it goes all the way, all of that, y'all see it, all the way to there. And that round bush right there is tucked in the bottom right there, that's gonna stay. And then we're kind of gonna do what they already got there. But we're gonna pull all this out. $750 is what they told me they'd give me to do that. What do y'all think? How long would it take the skid steer to do that? Just the evergreen. We're not everything back to the building. God, man, I love that, dude. It's gonna be so much better. No, this thing's just is a haven for critters, and they're over it, man. So $750, I think that's pretty good, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. I'm thinking one morning with the Bobcat, and I'm 3.5 miles from my house. Okay guys, so I want to show you guys the difference in size and all in the new brush cut, you know, the clearing saw, and just a typical weed eater. And so right here we have the typical weed eater. This is the 91R, right? This is the FS461C clearing saw, and this is the FS110 brush cutting saw. Now I've had this one right here for about 10 years, but there's a huge difference in damn, we'll use all the spray. There's a huge difference in that one, you see, and that one. Look, just everything. The shaft's bigger, the gearbox down here is bigger, and if you'll notice on the new one, look, y'all see that, how that moves? See, that's a shock absorber to minimize the shock on you when you are cutting. There's no shock absorber on this one. You feel everything. See, so we can call this a glorified weed eater, but it's a freaking weed eater on steroids, big time. And you can buy the weed eater head for this if you want to. Now I got I got 3 blades that go with this. I got the knife blade, and I got this blade right here you can sharpen, they say. We'll see. But you can see the difference in them. So this thing right here, the 461, it's way too heavy to be using every day like you would the FS91R, and it's certainly bigger than the 94R weed eater. But you can put a weed eater head on here, and I guess you could do it, but it'd be rough. And this thing comes with that harness too, and that's a whole harness, y'all, no joke. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys the difference. It looks like the handlebar is the same. This handlebar right here, bicycle handlebar, it is a little bit bigger diameter than that one. But I've had that other one, y'all, for 10 years, and it still runs. It doesn't look great, but it runs good. So that's why I went on and bought this one, because I'll probably never have to buy another one. And this one right here, the old one, I bought it like in 2009 or 10 on a job when I was clearing up a fence line for a farmer. What happened was, he wanted me to clean the fence line. This is how I get some tools, y'all, especially in the very beginning. So a farmer wanted me to clear a fence line, okay? And of course I didn't have no Bobcat, no nothing, man. I didn't even have big commercial mowers then. And I told him that I did not have the tools, you know, it took to clear the fence line and make money at it. He said, well, what tool do you need? And so I jumped on online, and I said, well, you know, I need a brush cutter with a saw blade on it. I was just gonna buy a weed eater and put a saw blade on it. That's how I was back in the day. And he says, okay, well, tell me which one you want, and I'll call over to Jack Peaks and I'll order it and I'll pay for it. And I'm like, okay. Of course, this is when tools were not hard to get. So that's how I acquired this. I want to say it was about 500 bucks. And yeah, fast forward 12 years, 13 years, and we evolved this one. Now, they made these back in the day, not like this, they didn't, but they made a much heavier one. This right here was just the bottom one that the cheapest one that I could get. Because back then I was always, everything, I couldn't afford nothing. I didn't have no money, you know. And that seems to be a lot of the issues with a lot of guys. That seems to be a lot of the issues with a lot of the guys that are just starting out. And if you're frustrated and all, don't worry, the tools will come, man. You know, this one was $4.99, I think. This one was $1,249. And of course, this is about $300. And these FS91Rs, I mean, I mean, I've never had to take one in for anything. I'll run them things for 4 or 5 seasons, and it's pretty soon something will break on it, and it'll be looking old and raggedy and coming apart, and you know. But rarely, well, any weed eater that I've ever gotten from Stihl, I've never had any engine problems. And if I mean, I never. It was always something bent on the shaft, or you know, I might have had a carburetor issue, but usually by that time it was so old, and it done been on my truck 4 or 5 seasons. This is like the 5th season for this weed eater right here, and I can pull that line right there and it'll fire right up right now. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I just kind of wanted to show y'all the difference why I got all 3 of them sitting here on the trailer. So what I'm fixing to do now, I'm fixing to load the Bobcat up, and I got to go put fuel in it. So yeah, I'm going to try to get down to McDonough Equipment this week and get me another tooth bucket and a flat bucket. I want both. So these two, I'm not, this bucket right here ain't hardly worth, you know, it's just a trash bucket, man. That's all it is. You can't hardly do anything with it, man. I guess I could put teeth on it if I wanted to. But man, I don't know, dude. Yeah. Uh-oh. But Bobby ran great today. We're gonna load him up, get all these tools up, go fill Bobby up with fuel, and another job done. Now I will be back over here, and as y'all saw with the drone, I will be back over here this week. I'm gonna make time this week, and I'm gonna push all those trees over that are on the dam. The owner and I yesterday went down through there, and we notched out all those trees to where they'll fall toward the water. So all I got to do is put the grapple bucket on and go over there and notch them out. I mean, all I got to do is put the grapple bucket on to Bobcat, and I can go over there and just push them down and pull them out of the water. That's the easiest way to get them right there. So, but I didn't want to do that today because I didn't have time. Y'all saw all the stuff that we did today. Anyway, I'm probably going to hide the grapple bucket over here somewhere, because I know I'm not going to need it anywhere but over here this week. So I can have minimal attachments on the trailer, so I can fuel the skid steer up. Because if I leave that, like I talk about all the time about the freaking having to open up the back door, if I leave that grapple bucket on there, then I'm going to have to back the machine up on there, because when it's got the other bucket on there, if I take the grapple bucket off,